Good afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome to Pat's Stamping Place. And it is a dark day here in my basement. I will explain as we go along. Um, Today is Monday, July 24th. And next week will be on the 31st. So we've got one more week to go in July. So again, welcome. And I'm going to apologize right now if my lighting is bad, because my lighting is bad. About a half an hour ago, some fluorescent lights that are kind of above and a little bit beyond me started flickering. Hi, Holly, welcome. And they were flickering so much that it would have been a huge distraction to leave them on. So I decided to just go ahead and turn them off, which turned off other lights too, because they're all interconnected. So you're not going to see my face today because it's kind of in the dark back here. So if you could see what I have going, I have an old OT light that I unplugged from elsewhere and put over here on my right side. And then about 5 minutes ago, I thought, maybe I can pull out some little lanterns that are upstairs in my garage basement or breezeway area, that I use when the power really does go out. I don't think that they're the best, but they're off here to my left. So I'm just going to be kind of giggling my way through this, and it'll probably be short and sweet today, but I think I can get through and show you what I want to do. Gloria, welcome. You are back from your trip. So, yes, it's been kind of a funny day. And again, all of this happened within the last hour when those lights were flickering beyond the point of being too much of a distraction, and they would have been flickering on my screen too. And I even thought of moving my video setup here, but trust me, that would have taken longer than an hour, and I wasn't sure if I could get things set up to even do something later tonight. So we're kind of here in the semi-dark. Let me know if it's too awfully bad and you can't see, and then maybe I will have to reschedule. But I was so excited to show you this today. Anyway, if you saw the preview, which I think shows up on Facebook, I'm not sure what it does on YouTube. I am showcasing today some specialty paper. And before I get to that page, I just want to remind you that there is one more week until the 31st, which happens to be next Monday, to shop and earn a $5 coupon for every $50 that you might spend. And then those coupons can be redeemed in the month of August. Hi, Sue, welcome. So again, Sue, I just reminded everybody I'm kind of down here in the dark, working without my normal lighting situation. So I'll just kind of move on. But anyway, earn to redeem. Those coupons are good all through the month of August. You earn them in July. And then move that away. So if you did not pay much attention to this page 127 in the annual catalog, it has an array, which you can see somewhat, of all our specialty papers. In other words, they are, first of all, they're probably a little bit more expensive, but they do something special or add something special to your project. This one here in the middle, which is the textured shimmer paper, we had a similar product it's exactly the same actually, in silver in Celebration a few years ago. And I still have some of that, and I may pull it out and use it at some point. This year it is here in champagne and gold. We have holographic paper up here, and see, you really don't see them very well, to even know whether you need them or whether you want them. But I don't have the holographic paper yet. And this number 10 over here, the distressed gold, is a carryover. We've had that one for a while. But some of these others go along with the new in colors, last year's in colors. These are the soft shimmer combo pack. In some of these are in some of the new returning colors as well. But I'm focusing on this group today, which is the white center 12 by 12 specialty paper. It's $11.50. You get 10 sheets. It says double-sided because it's the same on both sides, and it's going to have a white core center, which I'll talk about in a minute. But we have Lemon Lime Twist, Azure Afternoon, Night of Navy, Berry Burst, and Fresh Freesia. They're beautiful, beautiful colors. So I'm going to convince you that you need to have these because they will add a lot to your projects. So I'm going to show you the first one that I did, and I actually did this for an online swap that I'm in every month, and then I'll go from there. So this is the card, and I used the Night of Navy with one of the embossing folders. I think this is the Eucalyptus 2-pack. It's a mini one that would actually go through the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And when you're done, then you run a, in this case, a sanding block over it, or very fine, coarse sanding paper, which I didn't have any. I looked in my garage, and I only had very coarse sanding paper. So this is something that you can get at the nail supply place or the beauty supply place. I think pretty cheap, maybe under $1. And we used to carry some cardstock that was white core. And that just means that it's white in the center, and then either side is your different color. You might even find those sanding blocks at the CVS or Walgreens or something like that. But that's what you need to make this come to life. We do have a new mini catalog that's going to go live for demonstrators on Wednesday, I believe. So maybe they'll be bringing back a sanding block to make this paper actually work. I don't know. But at any rate, you can always find another product that you can use probably around your house that you use for your nails or for sanding woodwork or something like that. Anyway, that was my first one. Then I have several others to show you at the end. So because I was kind of working here in the dark a little bit, I did pre-do some things very quickly to get ready for the card that I'm going to show you today. So I've already done some die cutting, and I've already done the embossing folder. Then we'll move on for getting the product done. But, excuse me, let me grab a little sip of water here. I guess maybe this, there's some dust that comes with this. But the stamp set and dies that I'm using, I actually used back in early June. And it's called Timeless Arrangements. And it is really a fascinating stamp and die set. So this is the stamp set. It's got some wonderful sentiments here. And then this is the die set. And it's really kind of brilliant if you haven't seen that video. And I'll show you the cards that I made that day. But these little stems and leaves and little flowers are on a strip, so that you cut those out, which I'll show you in a minute, and then add those to your card. It's brilliant. That's all I can say. Whoever comes up with these ideas. kudos to them. Okay, let's get that back in there. All right. These were the cards that I made with Timeless Arrangement back in June. Timeless Arrangements, there is an S on the end of that. And they're simple and very easy to put together. And see, these are just strips of the colors behind there. So you don't see all of that stuff and you won't have to glue everything. Here was another one. Okay, here's one there, and then here's one here. But again, that was video number 133, if you want to go back and watch that more, featuring this particular die set and talking about that more. So let's move with this one. I have already die cut, or excuse me, embossed, and this is a standard embossing folder. It's not a 3D. I've already embossed this with the Quatrefoil tile embossing folder. It's really very pretty. And then I've used other embossing folders. Hello, Rose, welcome. I've used other embossing folders to show you the samples. I'll show you when I'm done. But this one is really delicate and so, so pretty. So I'm gonna zoom in. See if I can make this. Ooh, whoa. There, you get to see it really close. Maybe that's good for what I'm gonna do next. I finally figured out how this zoom thing actually does work. Okay, so now that it's down on my table, I can zoom in a little bit more. Sure you don't want to see that much of it. This will make you dizzy. Okay, this is going to be one of those days, you guys. Okay, that's going to work. All right, so I'm going to take this sanding block, and this one's all kind of dirty because I've used the other colors with it. So obviously the color is going to come off. Looks like that gets a little blurry. But once again, this is paper. It is not cardstock. It is thin. So you do want to be careful with it and not add too much pressure. So if you're going to grab regular sanding paper from your garage or paint area or whatever, make sure it's a very fine sanding paper. I'll show you what I actually went to get and brought in, and it just, I guess I can't find, oh, there it is. This was old and very, very coarse. And it just, I just tried it on a sample and it just chewed it up. So you don't want this, you want something that is a very fine sanding. And I'm going to start this with just kind of going in one direction. And you can see where the white is coming through. And it will add some little dusty parts to your paper here. So there you can see I've done part of it. And this just picks this up, these little white dots on here. So let me go here and finish. This one's real easy to do. So are all of them. And it just makes for a gorgeous, gorgeous project. I want to make sure I get all those little details there in the center. I will have to say this little light here is doing the trick. But the rest of me on the other side of my basement is kind of in the dark zone. Okay, so that's what we end up with. Now, It's easy to put the card together. So this is Berry Burst, and this is a returning color that is in our core colors now. I love it. And I'm going to use a piece of Berry Burst cardstock. So that will be tone on tone. And just give that a fold. And I'll zoom out here in a minute. Grab a bone folder to give it a nice crease. Now this can either go landscape or it can go portrait. I'm kind of thinking landscape might be a little bit better. I also have a piece of paper to go on the inside, so let's take care of that. Get some liquid glue here. So here it is, Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. It was absolutely gorgeous here until some rain came last night. But it did come at night, so it wasn't too bad. I think probably around, just as it was starting to get dark, we had some heavy rain. We had some real heavy rain the other day too. So it's that time of year. And I also want to note that I embossed with the quatrefoil tile embossing folder the flap of the envelope. So that is ready to go. So let's get this on here. And as I said, it's paper, double-sided. And so it is thin. But as I remember, the paper that we had, which I said was cardstock, the white core before, it wasn't as easy to work with as this. So I don't know, I don't even think I have any of it left. And it was nice because that's what we had, but it was much more of an effort to get that effect. This just went over that like butter, basically. And then I didn't tear a piece off of that, but going back to the one that I originally showed you, you can see that white in the center. And then this also picked up the other side of it, which was the Night of Navy. So there's our colors, and then I have other colors to show you too. So now let's pull out. We've got lots of little dusty stuff here. The pieces that I had already die cut, and this is in white and Bubble Bath. There's one of our other new core colors. It's just a pretty pink, and it looks wonderful with Berry Burst. And this is where you see that those are all on a little strip. And these are actually thin enough, or thick enough, I guess you could say, or wide enough, that you could put a small sentiment here. But they're actually designed to go on the back of one of the die cuts, or you could use any other die cuts that you might have if you don't want to use the ones that come in this set. These have a little X on each side. Otherwise, it looks just like a stitched piece. And here the lighting now is not cooperating so much, so you can see what I've got there. There we go. You can see it on the phone. So when I decide how I want to lay these out, we've got some white, and some bubble bath. And you can also snip these off too and arrange them however you like. Let's see what else I had here. I had this kind of in my mind, and then I took the whole thing apart. There, I kind of like that one. That's a little bit more sturdy on the flowers, and then I can add the others in. And I think I'm going to kind of put this at an angle on here. And let's see, perhaps, I don't know if I've got any of the right ribbon here. I don't. Oh, let me see. Maybe use, oops, making a little noise there. When I get to it, use some of this silver cording. Okay, so okay, kind of like this white one here. So that could go there, and then I can snip that off. This is just basically arranging. That's why I guess it's called timeless arrangements, because that's what it is. So let's get some glue behind here. I've got my silicone mat. Just put a strip of that there, and I'm going to start, oops, I've got this light on a couple of paper pumpkin boxes here. Trying not to get too much glue on my fingers. All right, so let's put this back here. And let's add some more. See, you don't see what's going on back here. So if this part happens to be crooked, so be it, because that's the way I want it to look. And some can also come out the side. Let's add some more here along the side. Oops, so there, that one fell. Okay, so there we've got those two. Again, I'm getting some sticky on my fingers. It's kind of like a sewing project. You really don't care what it looks like on the back, maybe. And then you can go from there. Now, I probably should have put my sentiment on the front first, but I already have a sentiment pre-stamped, because you don't want to go through all this work and then find that your sentiment is not the way you want it. I've got a whole bunch of these here. What am I going to do with them? We can come out a little bit here on the side. So let's do that, and then I can cut that off. Hello, Jane Bone. Welcome. Okay, let's see where I want that one to go. So I'm going to go all the way around on this one and make lots and lots of paper. So now I can cut this part off. Whoops. If you could see this mess down here, the way I've got it set up with this light, all these lights and lanterns, you'd be in hysterics. It's so funny. So now I've cut this one off. Sorry, I didn't mean to be out of camera view there. And so I can add this piece. Let's put some glue on this little tab instead of putting it on the other part. So I can put that there. Let's see, what else do we have here? We've got lots of, this is almost like playing with paper dolls, but other little pieces of paper flowers. So let's see where this can go. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's see, let's try that again. See how far I want to go over there. Okay, so I'm going to add some glue to this. I tell you, having a silicone mat underneath here is really kind of like a little game changer. It really helps. Okay, so now I've got that there. So this needs to get cut off. No, you can exactly do that. That's what I'm going to show you here in a second, Rose. That's a good question. No, you can have individual ones and you can snip that right off. In fact, I'll do that right now. So yes, I can snip that off. And now I could add that to this corner like that by just putting a little dot of glue right there and then add that underneath. So that's what we have so far. Oh, Sue, you missed why I'm in the dark. My lights in my basement, a couple of them went out, fluorescent lights, and they were flashing to the point that it was very, very distracting. So that's why I'm in the dark. Literally, sometimes I feel like I'm in the dark most of the time, but that's just being funny. Okay, I think I need some more white over here because there's white up at the top. Let's see, I don't know, maybe. So Rose, to continue with that, I'm going to snip this off and put that right in here, I think. So I've got a little bit more white down at the bottom because I'm kind of overpowered with the bubble bath here. So let's add some. Let's add some glue here, and I think I'll grab my tweezers. The tweezers are great for these little pieces too. See if I can get this where I want it to go. I think that'll work. And then maybe I'll put a bow there. All right, so I've got glue in my fingers. So yes, you can snip any pieces of those apart. Let's see, I have these two. These were individual ones as part of the dies that can go somewhere as well as just individual stems. So maybe I don't know. I'm not sure. I think if I go too much further, I'm going to make a mess of what I already have. I don't like that there. I used quite a bit of what I already had cut out. And this is one of those sets where if you've got scraps of paper, take those dies and just, run them through and then put them in a little bag. That's what I did. So I already had these done from before, and just run them through with scraps and you're good to go when you want to make a pretty easy card. All right, so I think that's going to work for that. Then I can put a bow over here. All right, so I already did stamp just can't and enough on here, and then thank you. Actually, I did the thank you first. Thank you, and then I put just can't and enough. And this is what that looks like. There's a thank you, and then just can't with a space in between, if you can see that on my hand, enough at the bottom. And then there's also a sentiment that says love. There's the thank you. You could just say just can't love you, if you can see that, enough. So there are lots of ways to arrange some of the sentiments in this set. You could say thank you here for being my friend. Thank you very much. A very big, get that out of the light, a very big thank you. So this is, I think it's kind of timeless. It's a good one. All right, let's finish this up so I can show you some samples. And as I said, I already did do this one, so I knew it would be good. That's while I still had some light on. So I'm going to glue that down, and then I will add dimensions to the back. There we go. It's going to wiggle around here a little bit. So that's just going right over the top there. Now you can see what the back of this looks like. It's kind of like a hot mess. If you can see that well enough. With little pieces going here, little pieces going there, little pieces sticking out. But this is what it looks like on the front, and it's going to be gorgeous. So let's grab some dimensionals. Put the glue away. And putting dimensionals on the back here will also help hold some of this down. Especially the little pieces that I added separate, in case some of that glue didn't hold. I'm not sure why it wouldn't, but can never have too many dimensionals. We are due for a very hot week coming up. Are you all ready for that? Yesterday was just a perfect summer day. Not too hot, not too, well, it did get a little bit hotter in the afternoon, I guess. All right, let's see. I was going to put it over here, but I think I'm going to change that and put that here. Or should I put it in the center? Because I'm going to put a bow here. I think I'm just going to put it in the center. so it doesn't look lopsided with all those little pieces coming out. All right, so now I've got this gold cording. And sometimes this is a little bit hard to keep in as in a bow, but I think I can make it work with a glue dot. Okay. There we go. It's a little bit too long. Okay. Let's see if I can make that work. Yes, it will definitely be good to stay in the air conditioning this week. However, let's see. It won't have any effect on the air conditioning. This week I am scheduled to get some kind of major plumbing done that I put off, and I know that it needs to get done, all because of basically a small little leak. Small little, that's not good grammar, I know. In my main bathroom, and it needs to get taken care of. So the pipes in my house are 50 plus years old, I guess. And the last time I had a plumber here, he said, you know, at some point you could wait till one of them really fails, which would be a big mess down here, or we can come in and do the 3 major standpipes that are the old iron ones that I'm sure are just, it's not even a pretty thought inside, for 2 bathrooms and the kitchen. So I thought, let's just get it done, because I'm expecting my sister and brother-in-law to be here at some point within the next, hopefully about 3 weeks. And I thought, I cannot even think about having that done while they're visiting. So they're coming Wednesday and even perhaps Thursday to finish up. So that's what my week is going to be like. So I'll let you know next week how it goes with new PVC pipes in my basement. All right, so there we go. Just can't thank you enough. And put a pretty sentiment in there. Here is our envelope. And now let me show you some samples that I made as I get things out of the way. So there's that one. Here is one that I just think is so stinking cute. It's the rain embossing folder with the, I can't think of the name of the set, Playing in the Rain, I believe it is, that little bunny. Rainy days are better with you. And there again, that white core, just take a light sanding block over that. This was so much fun. And then I colored him with Stampin' Blends. Here's one that is a fun fold that I'll probably show next week. And this was actually my original thought for today, was to make a fun fold. And then I thought, I got to use that paper. So here's the paper on the front here of the Night of, this is the Night of Navy. And forget the name of the embossing folder because I don't have it in front of me. And then this opens up like this. So that's my plan for next week, is to show this fun fold. Okay, here is another one with the timeless arrangements with just a simple thank you. And this is with the Azure Afternoon. This one also is with the Azure Afternoon on there. And this is Lemon Lime Twist, and this is Lemon Lime Twist paper. There's also Lemon Lime Twist in the pack of white core paper. Okay, here was my original one. And then here's one that I did with the Azure Afternoon, but I didn't add a sentiment to it. And then I took the piece of paper that I tore off and put along the side there. And this is with the pretty flowers, I think, embossing folder. And then this is one that I have not finished yet. Oops, it goes this way. And I put an X in the center. And this is with one of the embossing folders that is in the online exclusives. It doesn't really have a name, but it's with the group of 3. But I just put an X here and then tore out the center so that I got the white core in the middle there. And I just have not done the any sentiment. I haven't figured out how I want to finish that one yet. So those are the cards, ladies. And I thank you so much for being here, taking time out of your busy day. So here's the one for today. And have a great rest of the week. Stay cool and stay in, as Rose said, and make cards and create. So I will see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.